Hey guys, it's me, Lori, Associate Clinical Mental Health Counselor at Best Practice Counseling. And I'm just following up on one of the videos that Kendall posted earlier this week talking about the polyvagal theory, hyperarousal, window of tolerance, and hypoarousal. So just going along with that, I wanted to touch base on what actually the prefrontal cortex functioning is. And if you remember in Kendall's example, the front part of our brain, this beautiful front part of our brain does a lot for us when we can actually access it. So I just wanted to go over a couple of those things. So what the prefrontal cortex or the executive functioning part of our brain covers is planning, prioritizing, organization, task initiation, so starting new tasks or switching tasks, as well as working memory, so that's staying on task. Self-monitoring or being able to evaluate our behavior or our emotions. Flexible thinking, impulse control, problem solving, critical thinking, and time management. So during what we're experiencing with COVID-19 and last week's earthquakes, you might be noticing that some of those functions that I just mentioned have been impacted. So that might mean that you're in a hyper-aroused state. Remember that top box that Kendall talked about? Or a hypo-aroused state, which is that lower box that she mentioned. And in both those cases, we lose access to our prefrontal cortex. So she mentioned it as no new learning can take place. And so a way to get out of those hypo or hyper arousal states and back into our window of tolerance is engaging our five senses. So I also want to talk to you about some grounding kits that you can make very easily. You can make them probably with things you already have around the house. And you can make several of these kits. So some that can be maybe near your bed or in your car, or when you're able to go back to work, something that you can keep at your desk even. So let me talk about these different kinds of grounding kits. So one is if you're in the hyper-arousal state, you need to down-regulate. So being in that top box, you need to come down to that middle box, that window of tolerance, engaging your five senses. Some of the things in that kit could include, so for sense of taste, go for chocolate. The darker, the better. That's a good excuse to eat chocolate, right? Smell, things like lavender or peppermint are going to be really soothing. Hearing, think spa music. For sight, think of or pull up photography, pictures of nature, or even, get out into nature. I know that with COVID-19, we're limiting our contact with others, but that doesn't mean you can't go for a hike or get out in the sunshine. Sense of touch, anything that's soft or smushy. A lot of throw blankets these days are that really kind of plush fabric, so feeling that can be really soothing as well. And then get in water, if that's a bath, a shower, or swimming. Water tends to be really soothing. So again, that's for the hyper arousal state. If you're feeling more anxious or amped up in that flight or fight system, you need to come back down into your window of tolerance. And then looking at if you're in that lower box where maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or you're wanting to isolate and withdraw and kind of just withdraw inside yourself, you need to come up into that window of tolerance. And so these are going to be up-regulating grounding kit supplies. So for sense of taste, anything that's sour or salty, if you think of a lime or a lemon or a pickle, your salivary glands start to be activated, and that's a way to definitely get back in your body. I also think, carrying around small bags of salt and vinegar chips could be a really helpful way to get grounded. Citrus is going to be a smell that's more brightening, so that can help bring you up. It's more elevating. For a sense of hearing, think workout music, something that's going to get you pumped and energetic and ready to move your body. For sense of sight, anything with really bright colors or strong contrasts will help activate that sense of sight. And then for sense of touch, anything that's going to feel rough. So maybe a Velcro dot, the rougher side of a Velcro dot, or holding ice. That's a way to activate your senses and come back into that window of tolerance. And then for both kits, you can also include a journal and a pen, just write about what you're experiencing in the moment. And then any uplifting quotes that help you feel grounded or help you feel encouraged. And then also picture of loved ones. So hopefully that's really helpful information given what we're going through right now, that you can make some grounding kits and help you get back into that window of tolerance so you can really access the beautiful part of our prefrontal cortex and our executive thinking. Okay, thanks. Bye.